May the fourth be with you. Always.
Okay, so welcome to the Daniel Boland Show, where we're making reaction videos like it's 2016, and if you don't like it, you can fuck off.
Don't ever message me again, you fucking little slag.
Who's Daniel Boland? Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
Oh my goodness, I wonder why. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. Don't say things don't get exciting in here sometimes. There's no introduction that really is needed here. I have a special guest, as you can see, Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill? Well, clearly the introduction was needed, because I was thinking, Jesus, Michael J. Fox is he's on his way out.
Has decided to join us on this wonderful Friday, and I am really excited to turn it over to Mr. Hamill.
You know, I've developed a little bit of a soft spot for the White House press secretary, what's-her-face, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right, over the last couple of years. Because, to be fair, it's not an easy job, is it? And she had everything against her right from the start. Everyone calling her a diversity hire because she's black and a lesbian, right? And then she comes out there and she doesn't know. She's not prepared for any questions. She doesn't know any stats and stuff. And there's people like Peter Ducey there provoking her with his questions, all right? With all of his data and graphs. And, you know, she's winging it, to be fair to her. And I applaud that.
Here we go.
Okay, how many of you had Mark Hamill will lead the press briefing on your bingo card? Hands? Yeah, me either.
Yeah, what are you doing there, you bleeding moron? Is what I would have said a couple of years ago if I'd seen this video then. But the fact is, I've been following Mark Hamill for a few years now on Twitter, and the poor sod, his entire life is tweeting about Trump and Biden. And that is very cringe. We all know it's very cringe when artists go all political. You know, Stephen King, a la Stephen King, right? It's very cringe, and the problem is, with Mark Hamill, I understand it. Over the last few days, I don't know if you've been seeing them, he's been making a load of videos standing for the Democrat Party. And he just, I know what's going on. I can see into his mind now. Mark Hamill knows that he has never really positively contributed to anything that he has been a part of. You know, he's just been swimming in the slipstream. Hey, Mark, you'll get that joke, of the success created for him by George Lucas. And he is now convincing himself that he is massively contributing to the re-election of Joe Biden. But nobody really wants him there. You know, you saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar there, sort of like, well, Mark Hamill's here. It's kind of adorable. I can't hate him. The poor old codger.
And look, I just got to meet the president. He gave me these aviator glasses. Oh, yeah. I love the merch.
Oh God, isn't it so cringe the way it's not just Biden supporters. It's people who suck the balls of any politician. Right, like a la Stephen Colbert with Joe Biden and Mark Hamill here. The way they love everything about them, okay? The people who love his aviators, Ray-Ban aviators, the most basic bitch item of clothing of all time. They're not even the best Ray-Ban sunglasses. That would be the Wayfarers. But they're $100 pair of sunglasses. I'm sure half of America has had a pair of aviators at some point in their life. It's like if somebody was famous for always wearing Levi 501s. It would be weird. Why do you always buy Levi 501s. Wear something else every now and again. These little tweaks of what would you call it? Riz, flash, the splashes of personality that politicians think they're betraying with their signature thing. Biden with his aviators, Justin Trudeau with his zany socks, right? John Fetterman wearing his cut-off short pants, sweatpants, and a hoodie everywhere he goes, even to a gala, right? A gala, right? It doesn't show any personality. It betrays your absolute lack of a personality. It betrays what absolute sociopaths you all are. That you have to have this little fleck of... there's a word I'm looking for and I can't find it. Office Space. What do they make Jennifer Aniston wear? Flair. That's it.
Love it all. But listen, I just wanted to say I was honored to be asked to come to the White House to meet the president, the most legislative successful president in my lifetime. And, you know, I don't have to go through the list, the bipartisan infrastructure law, the PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, all of that, inflation, 15 million jobs. Look, it's all good. I mean,
either I've got this very wrong or Mark Hamill has absolutely no idea where he is. Because this is a White House press conference, right? This isn't just a room full of people who love Joe Biden and his aviators, is it? There's half of the journalists in the room are critical of the White House and probably want to gauge their response on unfolding events and current affairs. And for some reason, Mark Hamill's been wheeled out to say how great Joe Biden is. This is very confusing to me, at least.
I mean, I was really thrilled to meet the entire staff because, you know, it's not just one person. It's like a composite endeavor.
He's so excited about meeting Joe Biden. It's adorable. He's going to the journalists. It's not just one person back there, you know. It's a whole endeavor, you know. And just in case any of the journalists there at the White House press conference were under the impression that it was just a one-man show.
And all these people, my goodness, you know, I mean, I have no idea. I had no idea just what went into what is on his plate on a daily basis. So that's pretty much it. I'm open to questions, although no Star Wars questions, please.
Oh, that's the really adorable. That's the most adorable thing about Mark Hamill is that he doesn't really know what's going on in the world in general. You know, his voice is trembling. He's on unstable footing, but he's always got that to fall back on. He can always rest assured that he was in Star Wars. And boy, does he lean into that.
Yes.
Did Biden bring up Star Wars to you, sir?
Did Joe Biden bring up Star Wars to you, Mark Hamill? Is what that journalist just asked him. Look, I'm sorry. I don't care if you're for him or against him, okay? But Joe Biden... can we stop pretending that Joe Biden is lucid enough to just see Mark Hamill walk in and go, oh, hey, Mark Hamill, I loved Return of the Jedi. You know, it isn't happening. Not only that, you know, it's not just that he's old and a little bit out of it, a little bit out to lunch. It's not just that. Those films came out 40 years ago when he was 10 years in to his career as a politician. The guy did not have time. Career politicians back then, with designs on reaching the top, crushing their rivals, the closest thing to Kevin Spacey's character in House of Cards would have been somebody like Joe Biden. They ain't watching Star Wars. There's no way he had time for Mark Hamill. He had no space for Mark Hamill in his brain, and less so now.
Well, you know, I called him Mr. President. He said, you can call me Joe. And I said, can I call you Joby-Wan Kenobi?
Uh-oh, they broke him. Wheel him out, boys.
He liked that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he loved it. It must be a real hoot being friends with Mark Hamill. You know, all those Star Wars puns all the time. Hours of fun. So anyway, we leave the adorable Mark Hamill now, and we go to the not so adorable Robert De Niro. Oh, we don't like this.
I have no upside in having this conversation, in speaking out against Donald Trump. You are making yourself a target. The interview will air, and he will immediately find a reason to talk bad about you in public.
Yeah. He can still act, I'll give him that. Look at that classic Robert De Niro concerned look. How does he do it? It's kind of like, it was like, oh, well,
But you're choosing to use your platform to do so. What do you say to other celebrities who don't want to alienate part of their fan base, don't want to step in harm's way, but they have similar megaphones that you do?
You know, the idea to be bullied at my age by someone like this is not happening.
This should serve as a warning, right? This should be every artiste's worst nightmare, that you, one day, your persona will take over your personality. You'll forget who you are. You'll start to take yourself far too seriously. Robert, wake up. You're not in a mob movie, okay? It's, that was 30 years ago, the last time you were in one, unless you count The Irishman, which we don't. Or Mickey Blue Eyes, which we don't, obviously. You're not in that. It's not real, okay? The idea a guy like me is going to get bullied by a guy like him, it's not happening.
I'm pretty sure you were never bullied.
No, you know, as a kid, sometimes this, that, but the point is not, and for the country, no.
I loved that interaction. That was amazing. The journalist licking his balls, as ever, you know. I'm pretty sure you were never bullied, Mr. Robert De Niro. And he's like, well, no, there was this one kid that one time, but the country, no. What the fuck did I just watch?
Pretty sure you were never bullied.
No, you know, as a kid, sometimes this, that, but the point is not, and for the country, no. And I think other people are going to have to stand up and just, because it's either that or you're going to find yourself in a situation that's so terrifying. We always hear about people from Eastern Europe.
Oh, Eastern Europe, eh? Hell on earth. Eastern Europe really gets a bad rep. I've been to Croatia. I know a lot of people have been in Poland and Hungary, and they are really beautiful, crime-free, lovely places to live. And everyone's just like, oh yeah, Eastern Europe, that shithole.
The Jews from other parts of Eastern Europe, from Western Europe, coming over. Look what happened in France with the Nazis and so on.
Look at what happened in France with the Nazis and so on. The Nazis and so on. Yeah, that was awful. But we can't just keep saying Nazi every time something we don't like happens. All right? Godwin's Law and so on.
And they come over and you hear these, and when I was a kid, they'd say, you don't really appreciate this country. You don't really appreciate what we know from experience. Imagine what those people went through. I'm just starting to see it. You know, as a kid, I said, Hitler, it's a nightmare that never would happen. But now I see that it's possible.
You know what I think would really drive the point home, Bobby, is if you and Martin Scorsese and Joe Pesci and Ray Liotta. Oh no. Who's the other one? Who's the one I'm missing? The other guy, Harvey Keitel. No. Who's the other guy in the Irish? Al Pacino. If you all got together one last time, okay? And you made a film about the Nazis and so on. Yeah, I reckon they've got one last film in them all. But I want it done a la The Irishman, right? No playing characters of their age. I want them digitally edited to look like 17-year-old kids who've been drafted into the military during World War II. I want to see Robert De Niro crying as he says goodbye to his ma, because I got to fight the Nazis and stuff, right? And so on. Joe Pesci getting all mad about the suit don't fucking fit me, what the fuck am I supposed to... I want to see, you know, a fit of anger from Joe Pesci kind of thing. And Al Pacino fighting the Nazis. Oh, the fucking Nazis everywhere. Oh. Huh? Don't you think that would be good? I'd watch it. I can see the trailer now. There'd just be a clip of Robert De Niro as a happy-go-lucky 17-year-old schoolboy. Have you seen what's going on in France with the Nazis and so on? Bad fellas. It fills up the screen. That would be the name of it. It needs to be 4.5 hours long. An epic.
But those people, and sometimes I run into some people who are close to my age who are from Eastern Europe, European countries, or even Nazi Germany, and you know, you understand it.
Did you ever care this much about politics?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm sort of not indifferent, but it's not my. But I'm so angry about what's going on. I don't see how it can be avoided.
There is only one way it can be avoided, Robert. Make that film. Make Bad Fellas. All right? We'll all go and watch it on Netflix. That's about all I've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a like. Let me know what you thought in the comments. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and so on. And I'll see you in the next one.
As you know, the stakes in 2024 couldn't be higher. And so many of us around the country are counting on you to lead the resistance against Donald Trump and the evil empire that is the Republican Party.
May the 4th be with you. Always.
It's all so fucking hysterical.